What's up, Space Apes? My name's Hanley. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at a recent paper that came out that looks at a molecule in the body. It's an antioxidant. It's called glutathione. It's really important in the antioxidant and inflammation cycle. And what the author of this paper is trying to demonstrate is that it's very likely that high glutathione levels make it so that you can't even really catch COVID, but low glutathione levels make it so that you have horrible outcomes for COVID. So this guy's put together a pretty good bundle of research, and as you'll see at the end of the video, he does advocate for systematic trials on humans to really prove the point. This is an introductory summary. So we'll break down what some of this jargon means, and hopefully we'll get you on board to have a healthy and happy life. So let's get going. I'm going to build some premises here first. The first is that older folks and people with autoimmune issues, diabetes, heart disease, and other inflammatory or oxidative stress conditions are seemingly having the worst outcomes from COVID. They are also the people who generally have the most susceptibility to infection. The idea is this comes from an impaired redox homeostasis and the associated oxidative stress that appears to be responsible for the lowered immunity. I'll define what those terms are right now. So when a cell is just doing its thing, it's getting some stress from the environment, it's turning food into energy, it creates these things that are called reactive oxygen species or free radicals. So a reactive oxygen species damages the cell, and then we repair the cell and neutralize the reactive oxygen species. That dance back and forth of cell damage, neutralization, and fixing the cell, that's called redox homeostasis. Mounting evidence supports the concept that oxidative stress and the resulting inflammation are primary contributors to chronic disease and COVID-19. So the more oxidative stress a person has in their body, the worse their inflammation and the worse their chronic disease and the severe COVID-19 outcomes. Virus-induced changes to the antioxidant response, they represent a crucial determinant for the progression of several viral diseases. So this is already established. The virus gets into the genome and starts altering how the genome can protect against infection. So the virus actually lowers our immunity by directly intervening in how the genome is printing the antioxidants response. And the antioxidants defense system, it plays a very key role in resistance to pathogens. So as that defense system goes downhill, we get more susceptibility to viruses, which then in turn make us go even further downhill. In the body, glutathione is one of the most abundant of the antioxidants. So high glutathione levels means that we have a high level of antioxidants to combat all of the free radicals. A low level of glutathione means we don't have enough antioxidants to battle the free radicals. Glutathione can be made in the body or it can be acquired through food. And so not only is it responsible for what we were just talking about, but also detoxification, protein folding, regeneration of the C and E vitamins, mitochondrial function, like we said, antiviral defense, regulation of cell proliferation so we don't get too many cells, and we do that with apoptosis. So it actually has some possible consequences for cancer also based on those bottom two. Low glutathione, that happens when a person has a diet that's low in fruits and vegetables, It's associated with chronic disease processes like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. People can have low glutathione levels if they're a smoker of cigarettes. And also, as people age, their levels tend to drop. You'll see later that there might be some things that we can do to slow down or reverse that decline. N-acetylcysteine, that's a supplement that you can take. You can also get it from different types of food. And what it is a precursor to glutathione. So if we take NAC, then we can build glutathione inside of our body. However, taking glutathione directly is not very bioavailable, so it doesn't actually get into our body and get into our cells. And one study found that people who were taking NAC had significantly reduced influenza-like episodes, and that was especially in elderly high-risk individuals. So one more time, people taking the NAC, they had reduced influenza, and especially in the high-risk individuals. So we're starting to build a case here that connects antioxidant levels in the body, glutathione specifically, with susceptibility to viral infection. Endogenous glutathione deficiency, it enhances the SARS-CoV-2 induced oxidative damage. So the lower the amount of glutathione, the actually more damaging the virus is oxidatively to our bodies. So again, we're seeing this vicious cycle of when people have systemic inflammation, the virus really fucks them up. When the antiviral activity of GSH, which is a reduced form of glutathione, not really important for this video, but when that's taken into account, individuals with glutathione deficiency seem to have a higher susceptibility for the uncontrolled replication of SARS-CoV-2 virus, and thereby they suffer from an increased viral load. So this is saying what we were saying before, that when you have the low glutathione levels, you have the higher levels of virus replication, but this is specifically to SARS-CoV-2. So this whole entire thing, this is cited based on previous literature, and if you're interested in this, I'd really recommend grabbing that citation from the beginning of the video, and you can search this paper out for yourself on the internet. It's free to look at. The severity of clinical manifestation in COVID-19 patients is apparently determined by the degree of the impaired redox homeostasis. So I know I'm just repeating myself here, but saying it in a different way. When that redox homeostasis, when we go to fix all of the oxidative damage, when that's impaired, we get bad outcomes from COVID-19. So we can do things that helps our redox homeostasis, and that's going to be really important for not getting injured by this virus in the coming years. This is a form of deficiency of reduced glutathione and increased ROS production. Less glutathione, it means more viral replication, which exacerbates oxidative damage to the lungs and to the other tissues. So kind of more repeating of myself, but I'm really trying to hammer this point home for y'all. This is really cool. These findings, they do suggest that the virus cannot actively replicate at higher levels of cellular glutathione. Say that one more time. This finding suggests that the virus cannot actively replicate at higher levels of cellular glutathione, and therefore milder clinical symptoms are observed with lower viral loads. And the hypothesis suggests that SARS-CoV-2 virus poses a danger only for people with endogenous glutathione deficiencies. If glutathione is active against SARS-CoV-2 and glutathione levels can be elevated by boosting NAC, then we might have a realistic and distributable treatment already available to us. This hypothesis was just confirmed by a paper that reported the efficacy of glutathione therapy in relieving a pneumonia symptom called dyspnea that is associated with COVID-19. The proposed hypothesis, though, it does need to be confirmed by larger studies, epidemiological and experimental studies. But what has happened with this paper is some groundwork for systemic inflammation and oxidative stress being really, really intricately linked into COVID-19 outcomes. And if you're still with me, I really thank you. And I'll just tell you a little bit about how I've been thinking about this. If this virus really is as incredibly infectious as they say it is, then the face masks, it seems to me, will absolutely slow the spread. But I don't know if we can really stop it. And if the part about the antibodies not sticking around for very long, that means that we're not going to be able to get a vaccine or develop herd immunity either. So while the face masks and the quarantine will slow how quickly this affects the population, it's very possible that people might get infected over and over again, which slowly weakens their redox homeostasis and makes them more susceptible to greater injury over time. So instead of that inflammatory disease process taking 10, 30 years to kill people, it looks like a virus might have entered our world that compresses that time down to a few months. So we really need to start thinking about our systemic inflammation and how that's reflected of what we're doing on this planet, because the virus is part of the global ecosphere and it's a response to other things. I think it's important that we all understand this and we start taking some steps to help ourselves and feel a lot better. Again, thank you for sticking with me. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them down in the comments section below, and I'll definitely get back to you. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. All right, peace.